Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Chris, and I just want to give a brief little analogy of what I think is going on with this Las Vegas shooting, because this thing, the rabbit hole is just getting deeper. There's more holes being, popping up in the Swiss cheese, and there's just, this whole thing is just a mess, and it just doesn't make sense. And I think that it's purposely being construed to appear that way, because I think the powers that be are wanting to send us a message. And here's how I want to paint this out. If you'll remember in the movie The Godfather, I forget if it was Godfather 1 or Godfather 2, there was a scene in that movie where Michael Corleone was on trial, and this man was going to testify against him. And the man that was going to testify was Frank Pentangeli. And Frank Pentangeli was going to testify against Michael Corleone and basically help send him to prison for the rest of his life, and put him away and help destroy the Corleone Mafia family. But when Pentangeli was on the witness stand, and you Godfather fans out there will remember this, Michael Corleone walks in the room with Pentangeli's brother from Sicily, meaning he went all the way to Sicily to get him, or had him brought over. In other words, showing Pentangeli he had access to his family, and basically sending Pentangeli the message: if you testify against me, I'll kill your whole family if I have to. I might not get you because you'll be in the witness protection program, but I'll kill your whole family. So is it worth it to you to testify against me, to have your whole family killed? And I kind of think that that's what happened here with the security guard, Jesus Campos, appearing on the DeGeneres show. Pretty much. To me, it was the powers that be sending the American people a message. We can whisk you away for a few days, and then when you reappear like a rabbit out of a hat, you're going to play the game for us. You're going to be what you want. You're going to be what we want you to be. You're going to say what we want you to say, and you're not going to say what we don't want you to say. And because it cannot be more obvious. There's three things here that I want to point out real quick. Number one, the taxi cab driver's video. It's obvious that there's automatic fire at a long distance in that video, and it's obvious that there's automatic fire going on very close to her vehicle in that video. So that proves there's more than one shooter. And secondly, there was an eyewitness who gave her account, and I'll put the link to the story below in the comments. She testified there were people on the ground shooting at us. There were people on the ground shooting at us, and then she just dies a few days later after giving that testimony to a reporter. Hello, my gosh, how dumb did they think we are? And then thirdly, Jesus Campos appearing on the DeGeneres show like he did, being whisked away right before he was going to be given an interview to Sean Hannity. I don't think it could be more obvious. They're doing what they want to do, and they're making this thing look like, it is so obvious that they're fixing this up, and they want it to look like that. They really do, because they're wanting to send us a message, just like Michael Corleone was sending Pentangeli a message. Look, I can do very powerful things. I have a lot of power. Is it worth it to you to stand up and to speak out? I think that's the question I have to pose to you people right now. Out there in YouTube world, are we going to speak up and put the Michael Corleones of the world where they belong? Or are we just going to put up with it? Obviously, we've been doing nothing but put up with it. And one other thing real quick, I want to point out. If you'll remember, week 3 of the NFL, Alejandro Villanueva, the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive lineman, he so boldly, went out there and, stood up for the national anthem like he should have. And he stood up. But what happened? The very next day, he comes out and he changes his story. I made a mistake. I let my coach down. I let my team down. Well, so what? You let your team and your coach down. Your coach needs to shut up. Is what he needs to do. And that was just really spooky right there, because he was a nail that was sticking up that they drove right back down. And basically, they're sending the same message to us, Because if you look at it, okay, one day you're standing up, you're for the national anthem, and the next day you're just recanting everything. what happened between there, and what happened in between that. You know, what's going on behind the scenes? Who's really running the show? Well, it looks like, you know, somebody very powerful, and, you know, they fired upon a predominantly conservative crowd, and people are dead right now because of what happened. People are dead. So are we going to let their deaths be in vain? You know, those of us that are alive, you know, we have a chance to speak up and to expose such things, you know. And I think that's what we should do. Or are we going to just cower in fear to the Michael Corleones of the world? Because that's what our government has become. That's the people that's running the show, that's what they are. They're a mafia. The mafia is still very alive. It's just corporate now. It's just governmental. And so are we going to just cower in fear and say what they want us to say and hush and just be good little cowards? Or are we going to be citizens and stand up even if the price is high? Because it's very obvious, you know, something very, very dark and something very wrong was going on here, and still is. And so I just adjure you, I just encourage you, you know, American citizen, people of the world, you know, out there in YouTube land, it's time to speak up. The Bible says there's time to speak and there's a time to keep silence. Well, I think right now is a time to speak, and against this, you know, deep state shadow government tyranny that's going on. And so that's all I got to say, and maybe we'll get some answers out of this, and maybe this whole thing will be resolved, and the real perpetrators will, you know, have to face justice. So that's all I got to say right now. If you like, subscribe to my channel. So thanks for listening to my video, and God bless.